Okay, so hello everyone. Just really quickly before I start the speed run. Um, for whatever reason, my previous Opera Flash-enabled browser is no longer working. I went through various plugins. I went through Pale Moon. I went through Supernova, Numaki, Newgrounds, Flash Player. What was it? There was the Rust coding language one, Ruffles. Um, and the only one with the latency that I really, or not the latency, but without the input lag that I really enjoyed was so Pale Moon is pretty well supported, Supernova pretty well supported, Newgrounds, Numaki, various sites. Um, the one that I found supported with very little input lag is actually Basilisk. I'll go over some of the issues differing between the Opera Flash-enabled browser and Basilisk. Obviously, we're using a different browser. I'm refreshing the page so you can see it's reloading. Um, I went through the cache, the 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 browser cache and the browser history and any cookies and whatnot, and I cleared it, and this is what I got. Right, so I'm starting this game fresh. As you can see, I just refreshed the page. I went through the settings. And for whatever reason, all the missions are unlocked. I guarantee. I don't think there's anything to do with the SWF. There's probably some sort of local file on my machine, that's really capturing it, whether it's in the browser, or whatever. Maybe it just has the SWF saved, but for whatever reason, I cannot seem to get it where it just locks the maps. So, I guess that's a little bit of a nail to what I'd call speedrunning integrity. It just makes the speedrun integrity a little bit simpler to crack, or mess with. Obviously, most of speedrunning is obviously based on trust, but if you don't need to test it, then just don't test it. So that's why you have audio. That's why you have the live split timer on screen. The various rules of speedrunning. As I said before, I'm really doing this casually, so I wouldn't be surprised if part of my speedruns are voided for whatever reason. I'd be really sad if my world record 2011 time is voided, but I guess we can always rerun it. As always, I'll be doing normal mode. I'm not doing the 100% where you do missions, you do campaign and arena maps. I'm just going to be going through an any percent of just going through the missions one by one. Um, I may try the submissions to the leaderboard. You can see the leaderboard score under the Chopraider scores. There's a cool story. Um, so I guess there's a quick introduction. There's the various symbols. You can play Chopraider. It's very interesting if you look at the instructions. Very much flash game like, very much like the old school walkthroughs. Um, of yeah, when people used to actually handwrite those walkthroughs. So yeah, so we're just gonna play through the site. Obviously, I think the the creator Virgil Wall probably, I think, sold it to Bubblebox as a publisher, and they purchased the raw Flash game, so they have the license to sell it or whatnot. Copyright 2008, so yeah, copyright is technically expired because it's now 2022. 14 years, pretty old game. But yeah, let's get into it. I'll start the timer as soon as I press the begin mission button on contact. And obviously, if you click out the window, it pauses the game. This is what I mean by speedrunning integrity. It's probably not that difficult to spoof, but please don't. Um, or mess with the timer. Yeah, so I usually click F, or whatever key is the next split key. Two is to reset. I'll press F. I'll press begin mission. I usually end the mission when the victory words appear on the screen, not when we get to the end. So when we get to the results screen, I can instantly click to the next mission. The results screen I think is very interesting because it shows crash, it shows the time. But we'll really quickly get into it. I'll enable sound so you guys can hear the sound effects, and as I said before, just more speed running integrity and checks. I think it's a lot of work to have all those things running. I know it's important, but I think it's also just more important just to get more speedrunners, to get more activity. I know I'm not necessarily laying the cleanest of foundations for a speedrunning community of this game, but I'm just doing my part. As I said before in my previous videos, I did a research. I went through the world record times under the Chopraider scores. I compiled the best time, which is like a 22:10, which just seems pretty slow. But I don't know if they're doing the crash efficiency ones that I do, because their times are definitely better than me with a 3:30 time remaining for level one. My best is like a 3:25. But if I take the best out of all of them, my 2011 actually looks kind of is supposedly the world record if we take the best splits, but I'm not sure because there's probably plenty of users, with more skill. Um, but yeah, so we'll start the flash right about now. Whoops. Okay, there we go. Shift. Um, I probably won't speak too much commentary wise, just because I'm focusing. It's three. Let's go. Obviously horizontal because it's slightly lower actually. You'll notice that the power station is slightly lower. Bomb early, stop. That's three. You count the bombs on the screen. Less turns if possible. Try and do straight lines and diagonals because it's the fastest pathing. And then we're done here. I bomb a little extra, but you want to make sure you're keeping count. Oh, whoops, I forgot to change the timer. Yeah, obviously you can see I set up the leaderboard. So yeah, a little bit slow on some of the release there. Two, three. Oh, I need four on this level. Good grief, I haven't played. Ah, that's gonna cost me time. Okay. Two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Because I think I missed. Yeah, no. Whoops. One extra one. Power station. Okay, then you go bottom left, and then we do the crash. The crash bomb efficiency. Might as well just use up all my bombs, just in case. Uh, let's get shot to death over the power station. That'll save me some time. Okay, let's hurry up and die. One more shot. Boom. Okay, that destroys the power station on normal. That's why I like normal. Very quick. You don't need as much. In normal, even the turrets actually have more health, so I did test that. Uh, oh, this is the last one. No, because it's gonna you're still gonna need to crash once because it takes 32 bombs, four for each power station, and whoops, I know I said I wouldn't do commentary, but I guess this is a more commentary speed run. Four for each power station and eight for each factory, so there's three factories, plus three power stations, so that totals up to 32. There's actually a faster way to slow down, which is instead of what is it? Instead of pressing the S button or the back button, what you do is you do a left or right turn to, change from forward momentum to angular momentum. But as I said before, that's more of a high level skill. Oh, dang. Okay. I don't think I have enough. Yeah, I don't have enough bombs to thing. So this level's definitely slower than usual. So I guess this will just be more of a commentary speed run. I mean, I guess start it off as it is. We'll call it a warm up. Why am I not die? Oh yeah, because these turrets are really slow, especially on this level. So obviously I said need four bomb per factory. So there are four power stations on this level. So that's a total of 16. Plus two factories. That's two eights. So 32. So you're still gonna need to crash at least once. No, plus the plane, that's 36. So you should be able to get through it with oh, whoops, wrong one. Please go in order. Um, it makes the time splits easier. You can theoretically go out of order, but as I said before, in the initial game, you went through all the maps. You can see in some of my previous runs when the opera-enabled browser was available that you can. Theoretically, you can go in whatever order you want nowadays because now that the browser is no longer working. But I still do implore that if we were to set some rules, it'd probably be best to go in order. Oh, I spent too long. Trying to count efficiency here. Six. That's. Oh, what? Good. Oh, I missed the last one. Freck, that's gonna cost me. So I lose one factory. And I probably should have died to return to ship. That's fine. So this is definitely not a clean run, as you can tell. This is what? I think around my 10th or ninth attempt. Most of my attempts are pretty casual. I'm not like doing back-to-back runs. I'm pretty much just doing it when I have time or whatever. So I'm not like doing these runs too seriously, um, except for research-wise. Shoot. There we go. So the thing with the turning though is because you're turning so quickly, you turn faster than you slow down, that your bombs will be in the momentum of which way you turn. Obviously you can move around when you're bombing, right? But the momentum carries along with the bomb as well. So it's very interesting how the game was programmed. So that's usually what a regular victory screen is. I guess I can submit the score, but I don't think the top scores are working. Let's check it out. Um, monthly, weekly, daily. Yeah, so it's not working. But yeah. What is it? What is this? Oh, this is the Basilisk browser. So yeah, I think what is it? Oh, it's a Firefox. It's Firefox. It's I think modeled off the Firefox 84. So honestly, for these ones, if you don't have input lag and like your computer can for whatever reason handle the game, I do highly recommend shooting down these turrets and some of the homing missiles and moving around as much as possible. So the best thing to do here is actually to get as close as possible and just press F over one of the power factories and die over the other. So now that I've pressed F, it's going to start bombing this area, and this is really helpful. So uh, it's a naval support. It's a ground-to-ground volley. Once it destroys some of the power stations, you go in and just bomb some of the war factories. As you can see there. Whoops. Yeah, yeah. See. So at least as many volleys as you can upon as much of a widespread area as you can, and that really speeds up progress here. I think that's definitely this is the level where you're going to save the most time in. Okay, one thing about the volleys though, they don't do the same amount of damage as a regular bomb. I know it's pretty loud, so you might not be able to hear me, so I'll mute the audio. But so the volleys, they don't deal the same amount of damage as a regular bomb from your chopper. Your chopper does slightly more damage than your average volley. So you still may need to do some cleanup. Also, it's not as accurate. One, two, three, four. We're out of here. It's 4 bombs per factory. It's 2 times that health. That's the calculation for all of the buildings on the hard level. So um if it takes if it takes what 4 bombs to bomb a power station, it takes 10 bombs to bomb a power station on hard, and that makes the factories take what 20, yeah, 20 bombs. It's very very slow. Yeah, because 2.5 16 plus half of that. Oh, whoops, I'm supposed to go north. Whoops. So you can tell this is a very casual run. As I said before, I'm setting my splits. This is much slower than what some of my best splits would be. Um, so yeah. But yeah, it's definitely completable within 20 minutes, so it's a half an hour. This level's all about protecting POWs. Obviously, in the interest of a speedrun, we won't do that. I still feel like morally guilty. That guilt definitely goes away the more you do it. But, just video game morality, it's kind of sad. Like, I know it's like just numbers on a screen, but still. There's another civilian. Civilians don't count as POWs. POWs are prisoners of war, so obviously soldiers or whatnot. Whereas the civilians, they're more like the population. Actually, creating this is very questionable content in the time period that I'm doing this actually, because if you notice the timestamp of when I'm publishing this and you cross-reference it with some of the history, um, not a good look to be honest with you. We'll go north. I'm not 100% sure on what the best pathing is. I always go north, then go south. Maybe if it's faster to go south, then go north. Whatever floats your boat. Off by one. Let the momentum carry that one. Obviously, you want to shoot down. If you're really good, you have enough brain power to shoot stuff as well as drop bombs and move around. But like humans are really bad at doing more than one task at a time. Like yeah, we can multitask, just not necessarily very well. Um, I only need to drop 4, and then I'll let my crash deal the rest. Done. See, crashes make things a lot faster. Then we clean the screen. Um, the slowest missions are obviously going to be 7 and 8. I'm still really, really sad that we don't get the locked maps because it makes things just really easy, and you don't have to like think too much about clicking. Oh yeah, the factory's here. So you always do the bottom right factory first because there are no power stations to bomb. All the rest of the factories you have to have a power station to bomb. I almost always go bottom left. That's 6. I need 2 more. I almost always go bottom left before I do top right. I just find it faster pathing wise. I never tried going left, but I think this is a rectangle, not a square map. So what we're going to do is we're probably going to drop a load if we can die on the power station or whatever. I definitely think you definitely need to use one load for the You definitely want to use one load for one of these. Preferably if you have enough health after bombing the bottom right, you use one load dying on this factory here, and then you move on to the next. I actually want to redo this map again so we can redo the split just to see what optimal split time is for this particular factory. So yeah, that's my best dodging skills. You can see there. The more you move, the less damage you'll take. Still took a lot of damage though. Yeah, so since we're close by, we might as well just die on the power station so we don't have to bomb it later in the future. Missed the cannon. That's fine. Let's quickly get this power station because we're only going to get further and further away from this one. And then I guess we'll go to the bottom. We'll do a diagonal based pattern. You want to try and not use as much as possible so you can actually keep a count of your bombs and how much you actually hit. There we go. Because you want 4 per. Obviously, it's much harder on the harder levels because you actually have to keep track of how many bombs you've dropped. So a good player will have almost like a near 100% efficiency, maybe 90 or 80. Oh, this is actually one of the harder maps. I don't like using a volley here, even though it's efficient, because there's so many civilian like buildings. Like theoretically, it would definitely increase my speed with the crashes and whatnot. But as I said before, I'm a little bit of a moral high ground gamer. Um, that doesn't apply for all games though. There are some games where I just don't care. I don't have enough energy to care. But I don't know. As I said before, maybe you shouldn't have morality in game. Not too much at least. You want because I think a lot of us play games for escapism. But I think crashing here is probably the best move. So as I said before, some of the other modes besides any percent and 100% would be the pacifist mode, where you try and have zero POWs killed throughout all the levels. Hardcore mode or something, yeah, hardcore mode, which is basically just no deaths, and then like hardcore full completion, which is no deaths, no carrier deaths, no crashes, no character deaths. Which I don't even think is doable or realistic. That's just a little bit too hardcore. You have to have a big community to do that. You crash to respawn on the ship. So I guess this will be my first official run on the Basilisk browser. So run number 1 on Basilisk. Um, I never got to use one of my volleys on one of the side ones. Did I bomb everything? I think I bombed the bottom one, right? Yeah, okay, so we now just go directly to the center. There we go. Last mission, yeah. I don't know if the leaderboards are working anymore. Although it looks like one person was able to get. This is definitely the slowest level out of all of them. I should maybe change the settings to how long it takes. So you want to do the ones closest, I guess. And I think I've showcased before, but if you shoot the civilian buildings, theoretically you could speed it up. So for the last civilian buildings, for the last roadblock, I think you want to shoot all the buildings before you destroy the roadblock. Although it depends on the distance, and how much health you have left, right? If the distance is too far, then obviously you don't take that shortcut of destroying all the civilian buildings, which I think is just kind of cruel in general. Um, I don't know. As I said before, I don't hold other people to the same standard. I hope people don't like do the thing because it is just a video game. I will say, um, so like don't take things too seriously. It is a video game. I know I'm complicating things and I probably shouldn't, but hey man, I play the games the way I want to, and that's how I play. So yeah, this should definitely cause a lot of moving trucks. As I said before, destroying the civilian buildings will definitely. I think theoretically should speed up progress. We'll test it on the last one. I've actually all that's a test I've always wanted to conduct. Oh, also, this is one of the few maps where you actually do need accuracy. So, let me mute this again. So the best way to the angle that you want to take is not that horizontal angle. You always want to angle your your chopper or no parallel to the direction that the roadblock is facing. So if it's facing sideways like this, angle your chopper in the same angle, so when you drop the bomb it will drop in that same trajectory. Also, one last thing about this map, there are bombers that will come to destroy your carrier, so make sure that once in a while you do stay close and you destroy the bombers, so you save health on your character and you don't instantly lose. You are on a soft timer, I think I've mentioned this before in some of my previous runs, or the runs that I actually do commentary on, which is the level design is very, very strong. Some ones it's always different. You have various cannons. The way they do the lineup is very nice. These further ones, I think you'll notice have a higher difficulty curve because they're just more turrets and whatnot. Hopefully, yeah, I landed perfectly. As I said before, you always want to do that parallel. The ship is constantly moving, so the more that the ship is moved, the slower that it is. So the slower that you've completed the levels. So you can kind of get a general sense of how fast the timer is moving, because it does do a countdown timer rather than a count up timer, because this is not a speed run friendly timer. Um, Still an in-game sense of measurement, um, but yeah. So the last roadblocks are going to be at the far left of the map. I need to drop 6. I don't think I dropped 6. Looks like it though. Yeah, I just barely did. Um, So I think they implemented a pathing, so whichever roadblock is destroyed closest to those civilian buildings will start to move. So we got 5 more roadblocks to go. So we need to drop 50 more bombs. So if I was like really efficient, it would only take 2 choppers. Obviously, we're going to crash a little more than that. So it may only take it's going to take upwards of 3 or 4 more crashes before we finally complete it. I think this is actually one of those levels where you do want to save your health. Saving your health is probably better than crashing, so you don't have to travel as far in some of these roadblocks. But like I'm a pretty stupid gamer where I just kind of I just kind of go all in. I don't cuss a lot, so you won't see me using a lot of more of the profane terms. Even though I'm not like a super moral or amoral gamer in either direction. Oof. Okay, we got 4 more roadblocks. I'm gonna destroy the civilian buildings, like like the whole VR MMO trope, where like you're constantly experimenting. Not necessarily mad scientist, but just pausing the game does kill your momentum. That's annoying. Hopefully you don't have to deal with that. So we're just gonna destroy these roadblocks, and then we're gonna destroy that roadblock last, actually. So let's just see what happens. Oh, actually, this is probably a good way to save health. Let's see here. We'll see if any vehicles come out. Oh, actually, it doesn't matter because there's no roadblocks to unblock. Actually, that might be the play. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'm very, very curious what happens. It's almost it's a little bit of a morbid curiosity because I guess we could theoretically test it without. So we'll do one test where because there's still that bottom left roadblock. We'll do one test where there are no civilian buildings. I think this is definitely a level where saving health is a big deal, so you don't have to travel as far, especially for some of these further ones. But as I said before, homing missiles are a pain in the butt. The homing missiles are definitely very, 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 very scary in the harder maps. So like the static turrets, we kind of like know how to dodge and weave them, but the homing missiles do get very annoying, because they do deal a large amount of damage. Sorry for the click. Um, yeah, no, I do recommend destroying. Um, in terms of pain in the butt, like turrets. Oh, bombers are probably number one. No, actually, no. Bombers are number two. Homing missiles are number one. These planes, they're kind of just annoying, but they're not as bad as these homing missiles. Especially on the hard level, the homing missiles have a lot more health. That is actually a pain. And then you don't get on the leaderboards for easy mode. So I'm gonna assume no easy mode speedruns, please. Um, as I said before, a lot of these rules are gonna be set by the community. I obviously do have my say because I'm documenting all this. But as I said before, most of the I think the rules do belong to the community. It's not just me. And so far, as far as I know, I'm probably just the community. So yeah, I'd rather not be. I'd rather there be other people. So that's why I always like having other people's input because it means I'm not alone. But yeah. As I said before, I'm just doing this casually, not any sort of serious speed run. So we're already behind my time I've set on the Opera Flash-enabled browser. I won't mention the source of where I got that browser per se, because it's just not necessarily um, not something I'd like to. Yes, I know I'm getting shot. Okay, how many Civ buildings left? 8. Oh, I know what's causing it. So there are two things that are causing it. For whatever reason, when you do right click and whatnot, there are some various settings. I do need to shoot down these bombers, otherwise I'm gonna lose the level, and I do want to keep playing. But yeah, as I said before, you're on a level design timer because of the bombers just harassing your carrier. So so there's an in-game timer. I think the in-game timer only really counts for yeah the leaderboard. Do I need a yeah, I need to bomb the thing. If I'm gonna do any experience, I actually do need to bomb this airport. That's unfortunate. Let's finish it off. That's like the easiest way to ensure carrier health. I don't know how many vehicles per are located per air station or base or whatever, how it produces. I haven't done too much research on that just because I've been more focused on the speedrunning aspect. Hopefully that stops the bombers from spawning so I can like do my experiments in peace. So first off we're gonna bomb the oh there's still one more. It's fine. I don't see any bombers in sight. We're gonna get rid of the civilian buildings, and we're gonna see what happens when we do that. So we're gonna get rid of the top right roadblock and see if any trucks move. I don't think it will, just according to in-game logic. As I said before, it's actually really hard to shoot, move, and bomb at the same time, especially in straight lines and like bob and weave, especially since you got to like calculate a bit of angles, and trajectories. Um, I do think this is actually a level where it's very smart to actually, spend some time to destroy some of the static turrets and whatnot. Oh shoot, my carrier is getting bombed and I'm about to lose this level, aren't I? That's unfortunate actually. No trucks. Yeah, zero moving trucks. That is definitely one of the killer levels. I got three vehicles left. Let's see what happens when we destroy all the civilian buildings before we destroy all the roadblocks. No! Frick me. Okay, that's very unfortunate. Swords cannot be submitted when you're defeated. Of course it can't. Okay, let's do this really quickly. Round two. Round two, guys. Round two. I'm upset. Oh, also, by the way, by the principle of doing the roadblocks that are closest to you, I think that is definitely one inefficiency of my speedruns, which is I haven't been doing the far left one. See there? Oh, two moving trucks, so I did miss a couple civilian buildings. What's this? Oh, this is the Dyson. This is the building that we're trying to destroy. That's the end game objective. Sorry, yeah, no commentary on this section because I'm a little bit tired. I said before, I'm playing most of these speedruns casually. I'm not doing it in serious. How many times have I played this game? I've probably played this game like, what, 11 times at this point? So 11, 30 minutes. I've already spent 5 hours on this game? Dang. I guess that's Steam for me. That's like Steam or Game. How many buildings? There are 80 civilian buildings. So obviously I think some of the roadblocks you want to destroy first before you actually do start destroying some of the civilian buildings. So there's a little bit of yeah, so destroyed civilian buildings don't have trucks. What a morbid experiment. Not morbid, would it amoral, I guess, or something. So for parallel, bring for the best results. I think I'm two. I still need 2 bombs. So even if I released it, I would have. Where's that bomber? Top right. I think they have some sort of AI pathing where they're like told to avoid the chopper. Can't let this experiment go on too long because I don't have that much bomber health. These bombers are like pests, man. Ah, 1 bomb. I'm gonna finish this and I'm gonna head to sleep. I'm tired. Sweet. Okay, that'll get rid of some of the bombers. So more time. Speak of the devil. My carrier's getting bombed. Oh, I hate that right click. Because, like, obviously you're using mouse to, like, destroy a lot of these. I got 3 more roadblocks. Dang, I'm so tired. Okay, I'm done. I gotta, like, call this speed. 3 civilian buildings and 1 roadblock. Let's see what happens if we destroy all the civilian buildings. I still think you need. I still think the it's still tied to the roadblocks than it is to civilian buildings. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, so this is probably the easiest roadblock, but maybe we can skip over health wise. Where are the civilian buildings here? Yeah, because look at how far these civilian buildings are. You either want to do this roadblock first, or you destroy it at the very end. No, you need to destroy the roadblocks. It's all about the roadblocks, not about the Yeah, see? Yeah, it is. So most efficient pathing is bottom left because that's where the carry starts off and then thing. So my run probably still has sub 20 is still doable. Maybe even a sub 18 actually. A sub 19. Let's finish this half an hour. As I said before, these runs will probably take about half an hour. Obviously, you finish the game as soon as you get the first frame of the cutscene. You can do frame counts. I know Summoning Salt has programs that does that, especially, since he has his own um, various attempts and whatnot. We'll really just go through the cutscene by Dr. Marcus Indigo Stein. Basically, just closes out the game. Am I? Yeah, my microphone's still on. Did I leave the background noise on? Yeah, I did, but I don't think you guys can hear it. Oh, I muted it. That's fine. Yeah, so a lot of these runs are so what I think a lot of people do here are clean runs, which is zero crash campaign missions. Um which I think is probably a unique. Dang, that's actually very impressive. What's at the top? So zero crash, 100%. These guys are 15 and 2011. I'm pretty sure these are the years in which they raced. MWR is pretty popular. Darthex, the submissions. I've seen a lot of Titans 2016, Spuds Buckley, Jim's pretty famous. Mr. Gooch, Cap Mossum, Bob, BOBB is pretty popular. Sportster's a guy I haven't seen too often. I've seen GGG. Icy is pretty fast. Icy. Lee Stites. What is it? Commander, Colonel. No, not Steinitz. Donuts. Um, Clausewitz, Colonel Clausewitz, or C. Clausewitz. You'll see him a lot. Cyber Jules, Skalter, Sack Attack, Typo Daemon, Carlos Monsi. There's C. Clausewitz. Matt, I haven't seen too much of, but he seems to have pretty impressive times. 0_0, Liverpool LFC. 2015, JR is pretty popular. Then just J. Smalls, pretty good. Opeth. Let's see here. Who else do we have? No, not Senior Poop. The Goof I've seen a little bit, but I haven't actually checked. IRL Penske makes me think of Penske Files. PNV seems to have pretty good times. I haven't seen Ryan. Wow, that's actually a very fast reaction time. What do we have here? Yeah, no, 007 and MW are just leaderboards. Whoa, this 007 almost got the whole leaderboard. Look at that. One, two thing. Yeah, Carlos, man. I think this game definitely has the whole Benford's Law where there's always more results on 1 than 8 because you have to like unlock all the maps. So 1 is played the most, 8 is played the least. It seems Benford's Law I think would make sense to apply here. And then the last person for I think the servers to still be running is this Quan guy. I'm pretty sure this is updated locally or whatever. That's why a lot of these results you can no longer submit high scores anymore. But yeah, it's very cool. Chapter one, obviously, I think it was intended to be larger. It was supposed to be a universe, right? That's why it's called the Whiteboard War universe. Only one game made, but it's still pretty. I think it's a pretty quality game. Flight School there. Um, yeah. Oh, SAM missile launcher, homing, defense, shipyard, tank factory, power plant. Yep, all these super helpful. Pretty good actually. Nice little site here. Fun little flash game.